This is me pretending to talk to a therapist about OSDD. Yeah, it's similar to OSDD-1A, but like with a few differences. Let's see. Our entire group is well. There's only okay. Hold on. I'm trying to think. I'm just gonna start by establishing vocabulary. Okay. Our group is what we prefer instead of a system. Um, we prefer members or others instead of alters. And let's see. Let's talk about Conquest first because he's the most different. Um, Conquest is kind of like every time I talk about him, he gets drawn to front. So I'm trying to like keep him pushed down because he doesn't exactly know how to talk about these things verbosely and like thoroughly explain them. So I'm trying to like keep him pushed. But anyways, Conquest when he switches in, before he switches in, we all have a sense that we can remember fairly easily what happened during the day. You know, it's fairly clear, and it doesn't take very much effort to dig up those memories. And then after he switches in, he gets blasted by a sudden gray out. Not a blackout, but a gray out. It's amnesia, but it's like, I don't know. When he switches in, everything else that didn't include him becomes sort of like dreamlike and hard to remember. Not impossible to remember, but impossible to connect to significantly. As in, like, he can't put himself in those situations, and he can't, like, remember exactly how we felt or what we were thinking during that time. He only remembers what happened physically, what the body was doing. That's all he remembers, and it's like dreamlike flashes of that, and it's hard for him to remember anything else other than that. I don't know whether or not he's fully separate, but in contrast to the rest of us, he is very separate. Scarily so. He actually scares us kind of a little bit. Not in the sense that we think he's gonna do something, but it's just unfamiliar. You know, it's really weird. Because previously, before we split and he was included in our group, it wasn't like that at all. We never had super extreme, sudden grayouts like that, and it's a little spooky. It's a little spooky because we all remember it. You know, we can kind of remember his fear, and we can kind of feel the gray out, kind of like phasing in while we're switching, and it's a terrifying experience, honestly. Um, just a little bit, especially the first time that he switched in, which was when we split. The first time he switched in was absolutely terrifying. We had no idea what was going on. We had never experienced a sudden gray out like that was so intense. It was absolutely terrifying. And then the rest of us, we're not talking about Conquest anymore. The rest of us can be reasonably called a part of Adam or Bubs. We consider ourselves way less separate than Conquest. Originally, we sort of started out as mostly the same person as Bubs. We're just gonna use Bubs because it's easier. Adam is like his real life name, but we've gotten used to using our screen name. But anyways, we used to be like really similar to OSDD-1A, where we couldn't take over his body, but we could significantly alter his actions and moods. You know, we couldn't really take executive control of the body. It used to be exactly like OSDD-1A, actually. And now it's not. And we're slowly sort of becoming more separate, but not nearly as separate as Conquest. And we can take executive control of the body, but we don't get nearly as extreme or sudden grayouts like Conquest does. And, Well, hold on. I'm trying to remember everybody that exists. Let's see. Let's start with the ones that are more distinct. I'm Jan. I'm significantly more distinct than, let's see, a lot of the others. And, well, I say a lot, I mean two of them. I'm significantly more distinct than two others. And I used to be pretty much just a part of Bubs, and now I'm a lot more separate. And I like it. I like it. It's weird and new, but like I like it, you know? I don't feel like I have to be connected to Bubs's morals anymore, or like I have to be him anymore. You know what I mean? I don't think I was masking as him. I think I was genuinely very close to him, and I had a lot of his beliefs and his restrictions, but now I don't. Anyways, another really separate one besides me is Baby. Everybody loves Baby. He's such a sweetheart. Anyways, he's so lovely. I love him so much. I never really get to talk to him. We don't really interact. Me and him are really, really separate for some reason. We don't know why. Anyways, Baby is, well, he used to be just Adam while he was age regressed. Adam age regressing used to be, he used to call himself Baby when he age regressed, but he didn't have any amnesia, any memory problems at all. He didn't feel like he was separate at all back then. So Baby used to be a facet, you know, he wasn't he was just a part of Adam. He wasn't separate at all. He was just Adam in a different mood, you know, a younger mood. And Baby, before Conquest joined the group, or spawned into the group, whatever you want to say, and way before I became separate, Baby started separating. His process was a lot slower, and it was a lot harder to notice until he had one specific switch where he changed his appearance. He had slight grayouts, and he changed his voice significantly, and he wasn't at all interested in what Adam was doing previously before he was Baby. So we figured out that there's sort of a spectrum between Adam and Baby. Adam is... I want to explain the Bubs and Adam thing. Okay, so Bubs is kind of like all of the people that are more connected to Adam and can reasonably be labeled as Adam. But Adam himself is the host. And he's not us. But sometimes we feel like we are him, or can be reasonably labeled as or called him, and we don't mind it at all. And we are him in some ways. So, anyways, Adam specifically has a spectrum between him and Baby. Adam, when he's age regressing, is still Adam. He is Baby, but he is not the other Baby. He is not separate from Adam. And then there's a degree of, dissociation that has to happen in the middle for him to be the other Baby, as in, the other member of the group, Baby, who has amnesia and who is separate from Adam. And Baby, the other, is very distinct, very noticeable. He has separated quite a bit, and I believe that me and him are on our way to being as separate as Conquest, but I'm not sure. We're sort of still in that middle where we're sometimes kind of Adam, sometimes not, sometimes a part of him, sometimes we're other people. It's not like how Conquest is always, always, always separate. Conquest has never been a part of Adam. Um, and, let's see. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, there's Hor. Well, he's practically like my brother. He's really similar to me, and we've got sort of a spectrum in between us. Me and him don't interact often, which is kind of funny, but like we're both very similar. And Hor is less separate than me or Baby. He is less separate than me or Baby. He was mostly a facet and sometimes feels like a person, and sometimes we get the urge to talk about him like he's separate. So we figure that he has a degree of separation, but we're not sure how much. So we don't know if it's reasonable to label him as a facet or an other. We just stick with both. We just use them both interchangeably. We respect him and his wishes like he's a separate person, but he and we aren't really sure whether or not he is separate. But just in case he is, we talk about him like he's separate. Let's see. This spinach is really good. The last person, I think, is the last person. We don't exactly know how many members there are. We used to think that there were a lot more facets, but we've just kind of figured out that Adam being in a specific mood is not a facet, but he does have specific moods that are facet-like. But anyways, the last person I need to talk about is Android. We don't really talk to him much. He doesn't talk very much. Internally, he doesn't talk very much. He does a lot of external interaction. Like, he actually figured out a lot of the stuff that I'm telling you. He helped everybody figure out a lot of the stuff that I'm telling you. So whenever there's, like, a problem with our friends, like our external friends, whenever there's a problem that we have with them, or an argument we need to solve, or some very serious situation that requires delicate handling and planning beforehand, like for example, like with a significant other, or like I said, a friend, he takes over completely. All of us are shoved to the back like almost instantly, and he analyzes the entire situation. He makes a timeline from the beginning of the situation and the things that set up the drama to the climax of the drama and everybody's actions during it, to the conclusion of what all we have to learn, how can we recognize the patterns of something like this coming up again, let's see, what everybody can do to be better, how to communicate better, how to detect this more easily, what I did wrong, what he did wrong, what another person did wrong, what needs to be done about the situation, who's to blame, does the blame matter in this situation, stuff like that. And he does a lot of the smart work. And then after he's done, and he posts his timelines and his conclusions and his paragraphs and his analyzation. Once he finishes his work, once he finishes what he's done with, he just fucks off. He just completely disappears into the ether, never to be seen again. It's it's almost weird. It's like when he's here, he feels like he's a person, and then when he's not here, he's just gone. He's like almost impossible to talk to. He only communicates externally. He only types. He only makes diagrams. He only thinks and then expresses it to other people, or he writes it down. And then he doesn't talk internally to us. He just like leaves his work and then he dips. And that's kind of the pattern of how he works. And I think he likes it like that. I don't think he really cares much for interacting other than solving problems and then fucking off. We're perfectly capable of solving problems without him, but for really difficult ones, like, he almost instantly steps in. It's actually kind of a little scary. I don't know. We don't know whether he's fully separate or not, like with Conquest, but, like, he remembers a lot. He has the capability to access a lot of everybody's memories. And I don't know. I vaguely remember being him when he's around. And when he's around, he feels like a moment of clarity. He feels like a lot of the grayouts and the dreamlike memories and the fuzziness can be way more easily cleared. And when he's around, I kind of feel like a normal person. I kind of feel like I'm not mentally ill, which is hilarious. Because obviously you can't just will your mental illness away. But I think it's funny that we all sort of remember being each other. We remember, we have the body's memories in that we can remember what the body did. And we can remember the body being other people, but we can't remember being other people. But we can only remember the body's perceptions of being other people. It's really fucking weird. The body is like a weird persisting consciousness that all of us have unique access to. Like, our access to the body and the body's memories are all different. And it's weird. The body doesn't seem to be a conscious thing. It just sort of seems to be just there. You know, it just sort of exists. It's a weird background consciousness. Like, if everybody's like hanging out in the back and we're all having a discussion or trying to have a discussion in headspace and the body's not really doing anything, we can tell that there's some sort of something up here still experiencing sensations and waiting for input, but it's not really conscious. It is conscious. It's just not active. It doesn't have any flavor to it. It has no emotion. It has no motivations. It's really weird. It's a strange sensation to be aware of the body's awareness. It's so weird. It is insane. And it sounds insane to be talking about it. So let's see. We all sort of exist on a spectrum of separatedness from Adam. And some of us are more separate than others. Some of us have more amnesia than others. Some of us have different temperaments and roles and stuff. But we don't really have distinct roles, I don't think. I don't know. I don't fucking know what I'm supposed to be for. Neither does Baby. Conquest has an idea of what he's supposed to be for because Android came in and told him what he's supposed to be for because he figured it out by analyzing the entire situation. But anyways, Android doesn't care what he's supposed to be for. Horror is just kind of there. He just kind of exists. We don't really know about our roles. We keep hearing about like other groups or systems having like members who have roles and know what they're supposed to do, but like none of us know what we're supposed to be doing here. We just don't know. We're just kind of vibing. We're just hanging out, you know. We're all buddies. We're kind of Adam, but kind of not, you know. As Jan, I'm still Jan, but I'm complicated. I know I'm complicated, and I know that the others don't really understand me when they're not me. A lot of my motivations seem to be a mystery to them. Right now, I'm thinking really hard to try and access the body's perceptions of them when they're thinking about me. So I'm trying to access about them when they're thinking about me right now. And it's actually kind of relieving to know that they don't really think about me, or that when they think about me, they have mysterious ideas about me. You know, they only have vague impressions of my memories. It's really comforting to be separate. I like being separate. Baby Bear doesn't. He's terrified. He doesn't want to be separate. Both Baby Bear and Baby Adam are kind of freaking out right now. When they think about it, but they're kind of freaking out because they don't want to be separate, and they are. They are separate, and I don't think they know that, or they don't want to believe it, but they are separate. And fucking Baby Bear. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, this is, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I think I'm phasing out. I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm Jan. I've been talking this whole time. I'm trying to add this as a contribution to word salad. I want this to be featured. I'm not sure how it will be. I'm not sure who's gonna do the editing. Not fucking me. I don't want to do the editing. And I kind of also just want to post this by myself. But I know the Soundgasm account is Adam's account, and I don't want to piss him off, but like, fuck it. I'm posting it. It'll be a mini episode. He's already doing something like that. So, for those of you who are listening, this was a mini episode of Word Salad. Bubs sort of has, like, a similar thing to OSDD-1A. And we're kind of on our way to being a lot more like DID, but not quite. And I guess I talk to myself a lot, but he doesn't really feature my talks to myself to you guys. And he doesn't plan on it. But I want to. I want you guys to hear me. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed this. Bye-bye.